Hey, I'm going to try to do a little short today. But not being a little short today. Because you don't need to rise up so much and what's the point? 35 feet used to be, but not anymore. Can't get that in anywhere. Do you have any, good memories of movies? And those points in the movies that get so emotional, and you feel that intensity, Well, it's a musical score that's what makes and brings that attention to those movies. And they're expensive because they know how good they are. You want to touch what feeling with this scene? And to what degree of pain from 1 to 10? But that's such a silly scale, is because that's just too, I don't know, where to go? Triadifies. We need to try to atomize that. Let's bring it up to 25. Because at the pain 22, you're going to be, it's pretty horrible pain. Agonizing. It's like grabs you and just starts twisting and twisting and doesn't let go. 24, you go into that world of unconsciousness, the neither world, because that takes you to 25 and you die. That's the pain level. Just had to be re-emphasized to get it more of a clarity of how bad you're really hurting. And then the milligrams per dose will probably drop down. An important point of that also is having your blood tested with that medicine that is being prescribed, so you can tell, the milligram level is too much, not enough, just right. Like the porridge story, you want that just right. But some of the things they do now, you need, if you take a half, there's a difference you can feel. If you take a whole one, where's that going to take you, Now I want to still be able to function, to talk. And if you take what they require, well, why am I? Let's think sometimes. I've been spending this whole time with the computer running, and it started doing its own little thing. So I guess NSA is going like, what the hell? What's he doing? My God. Tune in those inner cameras. What's he doing in there? My God. Let's go. Nobody's got porn in there. Let's go see. My God, no. Well, big Maryland over there. Yeah, I used to really like it. And I bought that from a place where I stopped once, just looking at stuff. There's a bus beside the road. And I'd seen them there in lots of places, but I noticed there wasn't a guy there that day. And, something's changed. I'd go by every day going to work. Because they'd moved through that, they kind of caravan through the areas. And so I stopped one day, going home and, just talk, see how things are going, maybe to buy something, She said that he'd been killed or something, And, of course that could be like, a made up story. Like, gee, I'm really sorry. She was just really, tensed out. I'm like, geez, okay, fine, well. And I just said, well, I like that right there. I always see this when I go by, so I bought that. And that's why I did that, So that's the porn. That's all it's here. But we got to get back to the original short of the story. It's going to be a short one today. Well, maybe. I'll try to hurry on, okay? You see this? Scene one, into the act already. Everybody's position to position. Camera's sweeping around. Okay, now, here, we're going to zoom in here. I'm just going to say this to that. And because it's about, you go, oh my God, really? And what can that be? What can that be? What? And then the music starts. And the vibrations start picking up. Ooh, you can feel the waves. And it touches that place they want you to feel. Because they know where it is. And that's where you're going to have to pay me all this money if you want to feel that in your movie. Hot damn. That's the gold mine of today's. The thing is about that feeling in the movies, that can send you reeling. I like pop. That's so strange how it does that. I make things go pop. They call me Pop Man. Hey, Pop Man. Hot damn. Get down, baby. Give me this and that and that. So this movie has a very touching moment where it just fills your heart. That's because of that. The music started way before it started, and it turned up its intensities to center that, to it's like a weave, an electrical weave that's out and about, and it gets around this electrical weave, comes down and surrounds over. And that's like the smart meters now. They got you under this weave, and they can do things to us. It's like these movies, this intensity they have in that emotion. Here's a beautiful moment, and the music turns and starts up and up, and you're seeing it, and it's so beautiful, and you're so touching. You get tears. I mean, you feel it inside. Oh, man. But then this person, you see their vision, they look back, and this is how you're feeling. And when that person looks, you see through their eyes, they're feeling this, and they're cutting off another human's head. And this wall has been brought to them and banged into their minds. The cutting off someone's head. They are insane with it. They are more insane than any swine could ever be. And they whack off these heads, and it makes them feel that feeling that we have. But to us, it's such dread. Don't even take it there, because that's not where this is going. Can you imagine that kind of brainwashing to a human? That can really happen. And we're covered in these electrical fields now, these smart meters. Think about it. If you're in those real fancy, nice, new homes and such, well, them guys are all electronified. And they know probably when you pass a little gas, So, just let freedom ring outside these homes. Not just inside the homes, outside the homes. And bring that God and obey those commandments, those 10. The first couple are all really needed, because once you're doing those, The rest are not even thought of. Would never be thought of. Just let them go, because if you're not living with those first couple ones there, then you're not with us at all. You know, that's the American Minuteman, Safe at Arms, Patrol. I'm a general. Yeah, we need your time. I don't need your money. I don't care for money. It's not important to me. But people can be armed. People should be armed in every state. But it's much like with any other organization. There are must needs be, so that to have a sign, police officers have their uniforms. Everyone that's been assigned like that has a uniform. So it's something that the home national security thing is completely missed. They put it into TSA, but that's just getting people used to being frisked. Do you get it? And it'll be out in the streets before long. I don't like being frisked. I will not fly. She kind of crack a joke once, and there's this part that, like, they're taking a fence. And there's no way you can take offense in what I said. You know? It was it's clearly a joke. It was fun. Jeez. You know, some of you would just say to someone, but you wouldn't say to everybody, because it was kind of, hey. Just because of what was, I was being frisked, jeez. And, but you could feel it, so. Screw them guys. I don't fly. And you got businesses, you need to get there and do this and that. There's other ways we can fly now, and that's through, that's why you talk about the internet, and we want to control the internet and stuff, because you can get on that and you can do business. You can talk with people right there live, just like I'm talking right now. We were hooked up, network. We could be talking about things, important things, and adding people in to get things done. And that's like the Safe at Arms Patrol. That's the part that the national security of our country left out. Left it wide open to nothing. And to a point where this thing named the president right now says that we're not capable of the thoughts of, being able to take care of ourselves without surrendering ourselves. Fuck you, Obama. No bullshit, dude. You think people have lost all their fucking minds, but no, motherfucker, we haven't, It's just those ones that voted for you. And what a mistake. But those people are already dead in their graves. It's the only ones that would really vote for you. And you got plenty of them, I guess. Just enough. When the hand's in whose pockets, Frick you, man. Dude. You must be doing something really good for someone, or you wouldn't be breathing. But whose side is that on? That is what is the question, and it seems to be. That could be. But maybe. Play on. It's enough to be revealing, But what kind of music are you listening to? Can you imagine that being a life and desire and a love to feel, to have that moment when you're killing someone? Oh boy. I mean, I guess it's real. When you're killing someone, that energy, there's something there. But it turns you into something that's so ungodly. Virgins are very scarce. Virgins are very afraid because they've heard so many things and stories. And they would fear that the most. There's no way in a heaven that anyone could promise virgins will be offered up to you. Up to like the tens of so many, whatever, what the frick that stupid number is. It's just made up. That can't happen. It's just a dream. A false dream. A fake dream. A negative dream. It's not going to get anything for you. Ever. Oh, you Muslims, you really need to wake up. Because just accepting that name Muslims is accepting, it seems, the call of that violent, that we read it past of, to the Islamic, written law of, Muhammad that began this. And it's like he came through and, there's, the way I'm understanding history, not to lay it on just anyone, in particular, but there were Christians, and written in the books, and they did some slaughtering, and I need to read more into that. I haven't got up to the actual point. I was kind of pointed out, but I need to read a little more about that. And I would say a little more about that. But there was, murdering and killing. And I meant to turn that down earlier. With this murdering, killing going on, and there's something with that story that I need to read so I can tell exactly. But then now the Muslims, they're going, but they've been murdering and killing since time on, So there was a turning point in the world. And that's back because of Christ. You have to understand it. It is real. But it's not like throwing dice. You don't know what you're going to get. Hard way, come line. Everybody likes that come line. But what does that really get you? It's God. It's the Christ that we believed in, and it did stop time from spinning the way it was, because everybody was into hashing and clashing and whacking and murdering just anyone. It didn't really matter because of something that happened to this world that just tore it apart, and governments failed, and governments fall. Governments went into nothing, no existence. There was no land to exist upon. And death reigned all over. You can see it in the American Indians. You can see it in the South Americans. You can see it in the Africans. You can see it in Australians. Something happened there that set all these people back to Stone Age. Because what up in the happened in a particular area, up in the northern places, this didn't have an effect. It was as serious as down in these other continents. It took them back, sure. It affected them, sure. It caused problems, sure. But it didn't completely take them out and put them back in a Stone Age. There were some that did in particular areas, but there were some particular areas that didn't get stuck back to Stone Age. And then we come out of this. That's a lot to have to decipher, and understand. I'm just glad we have a replay button, Wow. With this Christ, there was a man, he was the Christ. There had to be a Christ. And there was this person that named Yeshua. It's like he was chosen to be. Is there anyone living now that would be chosen to be and bring that about and let it end as he did? It's because of purity. And the love and the believing that he did give and share. In hopes to turn the world toward better things. That's what we all should be sharing in. So the ones that believed and they heard his stories and they had faith and they prayed that they would have faith and they prayed that they were grateful to the faith that they have, that they're able to even be grateful for the faith that they have in bringing Christ and letting this happen. So there are still ones left that really like to hash up and whack up and do things that are just so far back in the past. Really think about it. Muslims, anyone. Oh. What is wrong in you that would make you turn to that side? Well, there's nothing that really exists at all. Because the people that believe and have faith in the Christ, they drop those swords. That whole of that entire universe of that earth turning in that desire was stopped by the gift that Christ gave, that slowed down and opened the gates, the doors, even a window from the light and energy from heaven. And that's the world hasn't been the same ever since. That's a beautiful world. But those are still, by the orders of Islam, people whacking and hacking us. That has to stop. That's not real. That's centuries old. Oh. That's just surreal. Come on. You've got so much money, you've got so much oil, you've got everything. Now's your time to turn to pour your riches back onto the entire world. Because this is the only thing that's going to save you, Islam. And all you kings, this is all that's going to ever save you. Make yourself into poor by pouring out your all, your energies that you received, and that's the money energies that you hold so dear and keep, needs to come back, and it needs to flow, because that's how it was given, to flow. And you keep it in the flow. You just don't keep drawing it into yourself, into yourself, into yourself, into yourself, with never giving. Because once you do that, I guess it's scary. But just scare the people. Islam, and share all your funds, to turn this entire world to a beautiful place, a godly place of loving and living, like we think that the Muslims themselves kind of enjoy. So that the people turn, from the bars and the wars and the sects and all that stuff, to be more, of a loving human, fun, but not to the point where they have to be the deer in the road crossing with the big headlights on. Come on, Islam. What can be done in the name of Christ for the will of the Father to be done on earth as it is in heaven? I've seen heaven. I've talked to heaven. That's what I want, because that is heaven. It's all anyone should ever want. Because when you have heaven, there will be no want. There are no wants in heaven. There's no desires to be met. There's just free loving, free motion, free everything. There is love there to beget, but it's in higher, elevated, portals. And that feeling that can't be shared, because that would create a desire. And there is none in heaven, because everything is even and the same. It's all lovely. Families. All living together, being families. You could walk wherever you wanted to walk, be wherever you wanted to be, because everyone is your family. There don't need to be droves of people traveling, It's not our problem, but you do impose wow. It's just the thoughts and where they go, and I can grasp them and I can see into them. And, like with that word to create, like a desire, you have to be careful. Because there's nothing ill begotten here. There's no ill desire. It's not ill at all. No ill at all, out of nothing at all. Well, I can hear ringing, like a gong sound, like a drum. I turned off my Wi-Fi because, maybe it's making a noise. I get these hearing aids I can hear actually better, and just checking to make sure it wasn't that making that noise. And it isn't. There's a power source. Because I hear something, and it has, like if I had like you splash the rock in water, and there was a source, there was a power, there was something touching, and it sends out those waves. It's like the drums are like the waves. I have to be careful now too, because I have this glint in my eye. It's not that kind of glint. The doc stuck it in there, so. But now it's gonna quit, but I have this, I can feel and I can hear. I can feel with my finger, but I can hear over in this area. It's like electrical. It's like a nerve or something you touch, and it zzz, zzz, And I do it on this one over here now, and nothing, it's like that electrical that this eye had, it's like gone, I can feel the touch, but I don't feel that, I don't hear that sound. So I guess in order to gain and to keep that sight, you have to lose a little something. What a trade. What are other kind of things that we lose when doing trading, like even having your teeth pulled? Don't have your teeth pulled. Avoid it. Oh my goodness. Well, I gotta go do things, so it's been fun. Hope somebody gets a message.